So sometimes I ask, how can people improve their dancing? Well, people can go take lessons. They can improve their technique, their embrace, whatever. But definitely one of the things you can do is improve your understanding of the music, because the music is one of the most important things we have as tango dancers. And um, you don't have to speak Spanish to be able to kind of understand what's going on in the lyrics. You can just look it up. You can look at translations, and then when you like a certain song, you may not even remember the title because you don't speak Spanish, but you might actually recognize the song because you'll probably hear it again in the milongas. There's not a lot of songs that are really good, so it's likely that you'll hear some important songs over and over again just because they're so good. And one of those is Cosas olvidadas, forgotten things. So I'm going to translate a bit in this video, and I wouldn't translate it the way I actually translate it for a real translation or a translation video. So forgotten things might be not the most optimal title, but that's what it literally says. And I recently, when I was DJing, I played this song as a 1939, 1940 rhythmic upbeat, the Sarli-Rufino tanda. And I filmed the crowd while this song was playing. And where I watched the video a few times later after DJing while I was going back home. And I realized that I wanted to talk in a video about this song, because this song is quite interesting and it's very typical of tango in many ways. And there's also kind of something quirky about it, because you'll see that yeah, let's talk about that later. But Cosas Olvidadas, and I'm going to play mostly the singing part of it now, is a lyric by Jose Maria Contursi, one of the best and most prolific lyricists in tango. And he made a lot of songs, lyrics about a certain kind of longing for lost love, like lost love that's long ago, kind of lost in time, or regret about things in the past. And this was a man who had an actual lover. He was he kept being obsessed with the rest of his life, whose name was Grisel. So you might know the song title, but it's actually also, I think, might be a pseudonym, but I think it's the real name of a girl, a woman he was in love with. And a lot of lyrics that he has, probably maybe even all of them, are focused on this woman in particular. So I can name a few of these lyrics for you that really refer to this type of, like, I'm now old and gray, and yes, I still miss you, but also like we are both old and gray and you're not attractive anymore, like some weird thing going on sometimes, not in all lyrics. But yes, so it can be a little these lyrics can be a little ugly as well, maybe not, maybe so friendly towards the woman. But Cosas Olvidadas is exactly this. So it's really strongly evoking something from the past that's no longer there and that cannot be truly revived. So this is not typical only of Contursi. And so there are other lyricists who also made songs like this, but he's definitely got some of the most famous ones I can think of that take these different themes and put them together. And the funny thing about this, and that's why I chose this tango, why I made this video, is that the words we're gonna hear, they sound like they're being said by an 70-year-old man or something, but they're actually being sung by a 19-year-old kid, Rufino. And the music is so great and the singing is so great that it's like this is probably almost as good as it gets in terms of tango music. And you have a child who's, yeah, child, I mean, he's 19, a young adult he's not only like singing about this, but he also sings like he makes it seem like he's 70 years old. And it's such, there's so many in this music, there's so many different talents of many people coming together. The music has to be written by a musician, then the lyrics need to be written. Usually that's combined, and then an orchestra of some really great people like the Sarli plays this at its prime. Yeah, it's prime, but the best years. Of course, 1940 is not necessarily his prime, but let's say it's like 1939 to 1945, something like that. And so it's pure golden age music. And then the singer is also fantastic, and he's at his I think he's at his peak here. So yes, let's listen a bit to how this comes to be in the music.
Después de mucho, mucho tiempo, recién ahora vuelvo a hablarte. Qué sensacional escucharte, parece que fuera.
Again, this is a 19-year-old singing about this.
Después de mucho, mucho tiempo.
After so much time.
Recién ahora vuelvo a hablarte.
Only now I talk to you again.
Qué sensacional escucharte.
What a feeling to listen to you. It's almost like yesterday.
Ya ves, estoy mucho más bien.
So, as you see, I'm so much older.
Y vos igual que aquellos días que tanto y tanto me quería, ya nada queda, todo se fue.
So he's saying, so like I'm much older, and you as well, nothing of you remains. It's almost funny, but sometimes it's so exaggerated in tango. So, but the word order is really beautiful here. Like you, like those days when you loved me so much, nothing remains. Everything is gone. So this is I think this is the best part, just how he sings it, but also, of course, it's not just a singer. Like a good golden age song, the singer works for the orchestra, and the orchestra also works for the singer, but the singer never gets too dominant. So it's about the music that's a danceable, great whole, instead of just a musician showing off, or just the orchestra showing off how good of musicians they are. It's like it's the perfect balance, and this part is so intense.
Son cosas olvidadas, esos viejos amores.
Esos viejos amores. I can't even sing that without sing false, but just how much feeling Rufino puts in his the feeling in his singing. So they are forgotten things, these old loves. And by remembering these better times, our looks, our mirada. So yes, a very famous word for tango dancers, mirada. So, but yeah, our eyes, our looks start to become clouded. So it's probably referring to clouded by tears.
Son cosas olvidadas que vuelven desteñidas.
A difficult word, had to look that up. These forgotten things, they return faded or discolored. So maybe you what I imagine here is kind of like an old photo that's lost its beauty, or literally its colors. Oh, it's so beautiful. And in this in the loneliness of our lives, so these forgotten things open wounds to our heart. And what's kind of my point here? So you kind of know what it's about now. What like I tried to imitate him at first. Just how he, like, singing is like playing music. Something I'm going to dedicate more videos to. But if you're like, I play piano personally, or if you sing, Like some of you might be singers, hobby singers, whatever. You're not gonna sing like this. Después de mucho, mucho tiempo, recién ahora vuelvo a hablarte. There's no feeling in that. So what he does,
Después
después
de
de
mucho,
mucho,
mucho
mucho
tiempo,
tiempo, recién ahora vuelvo a hablarte. And listen to these violins, how they're integrated with the singing.
recién ahora vuelvo a hablarte. Qué sensación al escucharte, parece que fuera ayer. Ya ves, estoy mucho más bien.
Ya ves, estoy mucho más viejo y vos igual que aquellos días que tanto y tanto me querías. Ya nada queda, todo se fue. So I didn't invent this. I'm just literally impersonating him and how he's interpreting these lyrics. So just imagine that when these musicians and the singer, when the orchestra was rehearsing and when they were coming up with these how to make, and especially the leader, the orchestra leader, the Sarli or whoever else, D'Arienzo, Troilo, they had to come up with a way to make this into music, orchestra music. So from like just a song you can play as a solo on a piano or something, that's probably how it's composed. You turn it into real music, and also for the singer, like you have to, the singer has a certain profile of singing in a certain way, so they have their own style, they develop their own style. But I think for every individual song you have to know how you're going to put feeling and how you're going to put quality in this music. So what I recommend you do is listen to this music by yourself or other songs from the golden age and ask yourself, like, what is this about? How is the singer trying to portray this lyric? How's the orchestra trying to portray this lyric? And what we can do, what remains, is when we listen. So it's so beautiful.
Son cosas olvidadas, esos viejos amores que vuelven
Just how it
y en la
ends.
al corazón.
It's just miracle of beautiful music. And yes, that's what I wanted to say about this. So I hope you can recognize in this music what I'm trying to tell you. And what I also recommend, if you look up a song like this, listen to it, and then also look at the unsung lyric. So I'm gonna end with that because it's never sung in these versions. There's usually a third part. It's never sung. So there's in your voice a sad something that's left behind. I'm not sure how to translate that, but like something remains that's sad in your voice of sorrow and melancholy. And under this spell, so the spell of that voice, my soul has to really do its best to not cry. It's simply that both of us were hurt by resurrecting these dead hours. So it's kind of weird in English, but like these times, these dead times, these times that are no longer there, these times that died when the love was over, and the heart opened its gates for the sorrow of remembering. Yeah, just try to process that something like this, that is sung by a 19-year-old, and that is just absolutely fantastic music. That's it for today.